Hey, so this is the Halfway Hideaway Hostel, and this is Fujifilm.
How you doing?
See, so large room, couple tables, and there's Ferrari, and there's Plinko, and that's the bed I slept in. Let's go over here. See, we got towels, we got bathroom here, we got loaner clothes here. Here's another, I think this might have been the semi-private room. Not 100% sure, but we got more beds here. And another bathroom. And a kitchen table. We got laundry. We got the kitchen. And we got mustard. Hey. Where's Beans? That's all right, we'll catch him. I'm sure if not here, we'll catch him at another hostel. There is also a whole upstairs with more beds, another bathroom, another set of laundry, but I'm not going to go up there. All right, I must get myself going. Oh, and you got to see, the 7-Eleven donated like 200 donuts, all individually wrapped day old. So, you know, hikers don't care. Donuts? Yeah, hikers don't care they're day old. But anyway, all right, I must go off into this. Let's see what... Well, the rain stopped. That's a plus. Yay. All right. I got to walk to the post office this direction and then straight onto the trail. Woohoo! Oh, I'd really love it if the rain would hold off. Even if just while I pitched my tent, it would be nice. Okay, until later, folks. Alrighty, so I just sent more winter gear home. Please tell me that was not a mistake and it doesn't suddenly get cold, which is what it's been doing, because I sent my puffy home, which I swore I would never, ever, ever do, but I did, and my wool gloves. But I am sweltering in my tent at night, so I figured, why would I carry the weight when I don't need it? It might only be for 4 to 6 weeks. I suspect I will get it back when, forgive me for not knowing how to talk right now. I am trying to watch traffic, not get run over as I make my way toward the trail. Anyway, yeah, so it might only be a respite for 4 to 6 weeks, because I think what I'll do is have, maybe if I go hiking with any of my children, hint, hint, they can bring me the stuff back. I'll want it for sure before I get to New Hampshire. I may be in Massachusetts around July, I'm guessing. That's a guess. But I will want that stuff back by New Hampshire for sure. All right, I must pay attention, see where I'm going, and get myself back on the trail. All right, here we go. Okay, this is the coolest looking thing. Definitely something old, but this is historic West Virginia after all. Let's go read the sign. If I don't fall on my face getting there, let's do it. Let's do it. Wow. Okay, this is just so cool. I was just past a guy who said, you know, we are not old. This country is just not old. I guess he went to Europe, and he's like, we looked at gravestones thousands of years old. This country is simply not old. So it says St. John's Episcopal Church. These weathered ruins are all that remain of St. John's Episcopal Church, one of Harper Ferry's 5 earliest churches, built in 1852 with money provided by church fairs. Can you imagine being able to raise enough money to build a church from just church fairs? St. John's served as a hospital and barracks during the Civil War and suffered considerable damage. It was rebuilt afterward, but was abandoned in 1895 when a new Episcopal church was built in the upper town. And you know what? I do believe I actually passed that Episcopal church. Seen from the Maryland shore around 1888, St. John sits atop the ascending ridge on the right. Wow, right there. Wow. There it is. There's historic West Virginia. Wow. Very cool. Very cool. All right, I'm not able to get any further back, but I'm not sure which church this is. I don't think it was the Episcopal Church. I'm pretty sure I saw that in town. But that sign up there says one Lord, one faith, one baptism. Amen. It doesn't say amen. I added that. Okay, so look at this though. It is so humid today. Oops. I know somebody read the weather report to me and they said 68, so I put on the short sleeves. Wow, this is a cute little patio area. Oh, maybe it says National Register of Historic Places. Erected in 1830, rebuilt in 1896. Wow. It's welcome to the historic chapel of St. Peter. Okay, Catholic church. Yep. All right, and then this is another reason I turned my phone on, because look at this. This is very cool. I feel like this is like what we saw in that black and white photo. These are all the buildings that we saw. Now, I could be making that up. I don't know. But it seems to me like the church would have sat up high, right? And then all these buildings that were down, that were next to it, right? Oh, there's a car coming. Wow, I didn't even know cars were. Wow. Wow. I don't know. If I'm not supposed to go this way, I'm not gonna. I gotta figure that out because I don't see a white oh, I do, actually. I think, hold on with me. Hold on with me. Okay, so you're telling me, Wilson, I should go straight. I would love nothing more. Okay, Noah H. Swain. On January 21st, 1862, President Abraham Lincoln nominated Noah H. Swain as his first appointee to the Supreme Court of the United States. Swain served on the court for 19 years. He worked to improve the status of African Americans and fought to ratify the 15th Amendment, which guaranteed voting rights for all citizens. Wow, so that was Harper House, the mansion on the hill. From this vantage point, early residents watched Harper's Ferry grow from a tiny village into a thriving industrial community. In 1775, town farmer Robert Harper's Ferry, let's see, chose this hillside for his home. The home was completed in 1782. Unfortunately, he died that same year and never lived here. Harper had no children and left his property to his niece, Sarah Harper Wagger. On September 6, 1832, Sarah's granddaughter, Sarah Ann, married Noah H. Swain in this house, referred to as the mansion. This home was owned by the Swain family 89 years. The Harper House is the oldest surviving structure in Harper's Ferry and has undergone many transformations from tavern, residence, rental property, abandoned ruin to restored exhibit. Okay, very cool. And this is it. This is it. Doesn't look that historical, but if you think about all the renovations it's gotten over the years. But if this is the old photo of it, it is like exactly what it was. They probably did restore it. It's got some modern features. Okay, let's see. I want to go down here because this is the way it's telling me to go. So I'm going to go. Oh, yep, there's another blaze. So I am on my way. All right, I'm gonna shut this off and turn it back on when we get to something cool and historical looking. A journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. Now that's if I was starting here. It says the stone steps to your left are part of the Appalachian Trail, a 2,200-mile footpath from Georgia to Maine. Climb the steps to some of the most scenic views in Harper Ferry. Walk 300 yards to Jefferson Rock for a view that Thomas Jefferson described as worth a voyage across the Atlantic. Take a side trail to Lockwood House, Storer College, and the Appalachian Trail Visitor Center, or keep walking 1,000 miles south to Springer Mountain, Georgia. Well, it says begin your journey here, except that I started mine in Georgia, so I shall keep going to Maine. Appalachian Trail through hikers complete the entire trail through 14 states in one continuous 6-month trip. Yep. Here's the, you are here. Anyway, okay. So I came over here to see the war that ended slavery, and I got a little lesson on why the AT does or does not necessarily come through this area. But yes, please, sir, tell me.
So yes, we're here at Harper's Ferry, and it was created in 1944. And at the time, the Appalachian Trail was being marked officially. The person who was running the park didn't like the little white blazes that would be put on the signs and stuff, so he decided to hide it. Instead of running along Shenandoah Street and continuing on the path, he hid it behind our John Brown Museum.
That is so crazy because they weren't aesthetically pleasing.
And happy with how they look.
Yeah, right. That's such a crazy thing. And now this is an old firehouse?
Yes, this is the old fire engine. It's also John Brown's fort.
Oh, okay.
The original location was on this stone obelisk over there.
Okay.
And this entire embankment didn't exist.
Oh.
This was created by the railroad company in the 1890s.
Okay.
And that was the final nail in the coffin for the old armory grounds.
Got it.
But historical importance of John Brown's fort,
Yeah.
it was preserved. It actually moved around all the time. There's Chicago at one point, Murphy Chambers Farm, Storer College,
Oh.
and eventually the National Park Service acquires it, puts it here just a few yards from its original location.
I'll be darned. Oh my gosh, that's so cool. Anyway, I was just telling, and your name?
Timothy.
Timothy. I was telling Timothy how thrilled I am that I got to come through this and actually stay on the trail. And that's what he said. Well, actually, if you can believe it, it wasn't going to get anywhere near it. But anyway, this is very, very cool. Thank you, Timothy.
Thank you for visiting the park.
Yeah. So this is very cool. It said, inside the engine house, Brown and his raiders fired through holes in the walls and doors. Brown reportedly told his dying son, Oliver, if you die in a good cause, fighting for liberty. John Brown, 1800 to 1859. At the time of the raid, John Brown had no beard. It says, abolitionist Frederick Douglass, from his 1881 Storer College commencement speech, said, I want to free all Negroes in this slave state. If the citizens interfere with me, I must only burn the town and have blood, declared John Brown at the start of October 16/18 raid. Brown and his 18 men captured and held the armory for 36 hours. As the tide turned against the raiders trapped in the fire engine house in front of you, their leader, John Brown, ordered, take aim and make every shot count. U.S. Marines battered through the door, wounded and captured Brown, and ended the raid. Brown was hanged for murder, treason, and inciting a slave insurrection. Just a few years later, United States colored troops marched through Harper's Ferry to fight for the Union and freedom. Gosh, can you imagine? It says here, outside the fire engine house, U.S. Marines commanded by Robert E. Lee ended the raid on October 18, 1859. 16 people had died in the raid. Wow. You know, I wish I could spend more time here, but I think I'm leaving the historic area. I still find it hysterical that they didn't want the AT to come through here because the white blazes would not be aesthetically pleasing. That was actually the first term Timothy used. He said they weren't aesthetically, they would damage the look of the historic area. But oh well. Anyway, very cool. Just when I think I want to put my phone away, I see something like this, and I'm like, oh my God, look at the sky. I mean, look at this. Look at this. But there's something even cooler I have to show you. All right, so this caught my eye, and I asked somebody if they knew the story, but look at this. Clearly something, right? So the rumor is, way back when, this was painted directly on the rock as some sort of billboard, possibly for a floral company. But I guess there's some sketchy rumor that a husband and a wife went up there to paint, and somehow his rope didn't hold. He fell, and the wife got paid for the job and collected his life insurance. Okay. There always has to be some kind of nefarious story that goes behind these things. It could have just been an innocent accident. Anyway, still, you know, so much shrouded in so much mystery. Such beauty. Such beauty shrouded in mystery. I guess that's the way to say it. All right, I am really going to try and put this phone away now. Good morning. So, yeah, spent the night in Harper's Ferry, West Virginia. Got off the trail yesterday at 1026.0 exactly. Went to the ATC headquarters, got my like halfway picture taken, and promptly forgot my number. Now that's important. I'll have to see if there's somewhere else I can find it. Maybe it's online. Because I started out as hiker 1612 to start in Georgia, northbound. And then when you get to Harper's Ferry, they give you the number of the person, you know, what order you've shown up, right? Like you arrived. And it's much smaller. I want to say it was in the 600s. And I don't even know it. You know why? I was going to take a picture of it because you put your name, your trail name, where you're from, whatever. And they take a picture. And then they give you the number. And then you put it in this photo album thing. Well, the picture was so hideous. And I was like, I wish so bad we could have gotten a better picture. But it was so hideous. I'm like, I don't even want a picture of me like that. I don't even want to remember that picture, right? And so now I'm like, but I would have loved to remember the number. So, okay. All right. I'm going to try and find it. Maybe it's online. Okay. But then from there, and I saw Rebel J and Princess Slacker and Frito there. And so we ended up going to, oh yes, you know all this from yesterday. We went to lunch. And anyway, then we got to the hostel. And I promptly showered and washed my clothes, started going with all the chores, got to Walmart, once again, bought way too much food. I don't care. I'll complain about it for 2 or 3 days, and then it will feel fine. I just need to eat. That's all. That solves that problem. Eat. Anyway, didn't find permethrin. There was an Outfitters, but it was further away, and I didn't get there. Maybe the Outfitters would have had it. So I'm going to stick with my cedarwood oil for now. And I'll be in Boiling Springs in 100 miles. Maybe I can buy some there. Had a resupply from my husband. Got some doodads and some nice new shoes. Already I like these shoes so much better. I tried. So what shoes do I wear? Oh, look! Amtrak. So that's a commuter train. Huh, very cool. Anyway, I don't think we ever talked about what sneakers I wear. Why not? So Topo. Love Topo. Love Topo. Topo was invented, created, designed not that long ago. Like, I don't know how long his R&D process was, but I think they were on the scene 10 years, maybe 15. I don't know. I don't even think so. Anyway, they were created by a marathoner who said, we can do better. Tony Post. I think he was from Franklin, Massachusetts. I know he's from Massachusetts. I just think it was Franklin, which is like 40 minutes from me. If that, 35? Anyway. So when they came on the scene, we got exposed to them like right away. They went to this, little sports store that I bought a lot of stuff from, and I fell in love immediately. Oh my gosh, the wide toe box. They are perfect trail running shoes. And then I learned about them for hiking shoes. And I am a huge fan. I was like, I never need to go anywhere else but Topo. Well,
as all good things, Tony Post, right? Tony Post. He had every right in the world to sell his extremely successful company. Got $19 million. I want to say it was December 23. Yeah, pretty sure. Good for him. Should have got more, in my opinion. They're hands down the best sneakers ever invented. By a company called Designer Brands Inc. Corporation, whatever. Designer Brands Inc. Corporate America wanted to break into the athletic shoe market. So my question to Mr. Designer Brand Inc. If you buy a company for $19 million because they're crazy successful, why is the very first thing you do is destroy the very product people fell in love with? Okay, on a logical level, I get this. I'm not an idiot. I have been around business long enough. You did it to save money. You did it to make shareholders happy. You want to get your $19 million back, but can't you do it selling more shoes? Why you gotta do it destroying the very product that people fell in love with? You know, company that bought Ultra tried that, and the consumer spoke back, and they have not been the same. Topo took over as the number one AT shoe. Think about that, Topo. Think about that, Designer Brands. Think about that. So the shoe that I trail ran in for 10 years, the Terra Venture, has been so badly redesigned that I can't wear it. I have a pair. They're horrific. I hate them. I will not wear them. I don't know what they are to me now. Maybe yard work shoes. I am going to try another Topo model for my trail running, but it was still, I wasn't running right before I got on trail. So what I did out here was I took their Traverse, and I think, don't hold me to this, but I think the Traverse is one of Designer Brands' conceptions. I don't think this was Tony Post. He had a really great hiking shoe. Oh, I wore that thing till it literally fell off my feet. What I'm also finding is they're falling apart much faster. All right, so cheaper brands, cheaper materials. I don't mean cheaper brands, cheaper materials, cheaper construction, cheaper whatever. Try and get your 19 million back. Just sell more shoes. They will, because they're great, the way they were. Anyway, okay, a little heated here because you're messing with my favorite thing. Anyway, I got rid of those great shoes. Came out with the Traverse. Started the hike with the Traverse. And then I had some Ultra Ventures, but they were an older Ultra Venture, probably back from Topo's time, when Tony Post owned the company still. So I had those shipped to me. They already had a couple hundred miles on them, so I knew they weren't going to last long. I didn't like them at all for hiking. They weren't meant for hiking. They're meant to be a cushioned running shoe, I think, but they were a little bulky for me. And I feel like there was just a lot of shoe there because they're cushioned, right? And so I was stubbing my toe and everything. So tossed them last night, pulled out the new Topos. I got another set of Traverse. Got the Traverse on, hey there. And already they feel way better. So we'll see how they hold up, because again, cheaper materials. But definitely feel better than the Ultra Ventures. And I don't have any Terra Ventures that I could be wearing because I wore them until they were no good anymore and bought what I thought would be a replacement pair, only to find them to be garbage. Sorry, Designer Brand Inc., but that's the truth. All right. Hopefully when I get back and I'm back to running, I can find a model that you haven't messed with, and I can run in it. We'll see. We'll find out. Okay. So I got my new shoes. I got a barrette. It's still not holding all the little hairs, so I'm still a little annoyed. That's okay. I keep saying 2 weeks. It'll grow 2 weeks. Anyway, got my little coupler so I could send back a bulky thing. It was the back flush syringe. I got a coupler instead. I could put it on my C-Knock, and it's much smaller. It doesn't take up as much space in my bag. I actually sent a ton of stuff home. Maybe at some point when I can go over the list and not forget things, I can tell you, because though I used a lot of it, I didn't use it enough to justify carrying it. What didn't show up, my mobile charger. Very disappointing. It's, according to the tracking, it's somewhere in New Jersey in a warehouse. So the guys at the hostel, it was, oh, my hand is like literally on, okay, I don't even know what you see right now, but my hand is so numb that I'm gonna drop my phone. Okay, just had to get the tingles out. Okay. The guys who run the hostel, it was the Halfway Hideaway Hostel. As I told you, not quite halfway. It's about 50 miles short of halfway, but who knows? Who cares? That's what the name is. They're super, super nice. And so I explained my plight, and Josh over there said, no problem. He will make sure when it arrives, he ships it to wherever I need him to ship it to. So yay. But just a little frustrating. Because Nightcore, I know they were trying to protect themselves, but instead of shipping it when I ordered it, like they should have, they called me or sent me an email that said, we need to talk with you and double check this address. I'm like, I sent you the address I need it for. Well, that's just their policy. So I lost 2 days there. Anyway, so whatever. Okay. Got on the trail at 102.6, of course, 0.0. With the intention of hiking 16 miles. Spent an awful long time in historical Harper's Ferry, which I have no regrets. That was awesome. But so far, I'm like on, literally, you see it behind me? I am on rail trail. I have been on flat terrain. I'm almost wondering if I'm on the AT right now, but there's nowhere for me to go. I mean, there's like the river, and then there's a swamp with the railroad. So I don't think I have to be on the AT. There's nowhere else for me to go. So, if the terrain stays agreeable like this for, I don't even know how long. Who knows? I'm making up though. You know, the terrain that slows me down is not present. So who knows? Maybe I can still get to 16 miles. If not, there are 2 other shelters that I can get to. I don't know what else. Let's think. Really, it was a pleasant stay at the hostel. That oh, you know what I'm going to do though? I want to tell you about the creature that restaurant is named after. So I'm going to do a little research, and then I'll fill you back in on that. I guess that's all I have to say. Wow, it's a beautiful day. It's humid as all get out. The temperature said 68. So I'm thinking, oh, all right, I'll wear my short sleeve. Wish I had my tank top because it's super humid, but that's okay. Yeah, I think that's it. Okay, so until something very cool happens, radio out. Shame on me. I can't believe this wasn't the first thing that came out of my mouth today. So in that resupply package with sneakers and granola bars and some meals, and Neil threw in some Reese's peanut butter eggs. I love Reese's peanut butter cups, so he threw some of those in. But also, I got this beautiful hand-colored picture of Aurora, Princess Aurora, from my granddaughter, all colored in the lines and everything. She's 3, bragging grandma. She's 3, coloring in the lines. And while she was coloring, she said all kinds of things, and Mom wrote them down, like, keep hiking fast so we can play, and have fun on your journey. And don't step on the crocodiles because they bite bad. I promise, honey, if I see any crocodiles, I am not going to step on them, okay? Oh my gosh. And then they're teaching her how to write her name. So she wrote her name. Oh my gosh. I just can't even. It was the cutest thing. And if I had been any kind of good mana, I would have taken a picture of it, but I didn't want it ruined, and I knew it could get ruined, so I put it back in the resupply box and sent it home because I'm going to probably frame it. I also got a letter from my little Raffaello with a handsome picture of him sitting up in his chair, all dressed so handsome, telling me how proud he is. And we FaceTimed both of them. And anyway, Raffaello is walking. Like 10 days ago, he was taking a step and a half without falling. Now he is walking all over the place. My gosh, it all happened so fast. And Xander, Mr. Xander's getting so big. He is just so smiley. He's got so much hair. He is just such a cutie. And Naomi has a Princess Learning Kit where she is now tracing numbers and letters, and it's really a very cool thing to help, learn how to write, really. But anyway, very cool. So I can't believe that wasn't the first thing that I spoke about, because it was the thing that melted my heart straight out of the gate. I mean, even Neil, he wrote me a little note on the checklist to show that he had gone through the whole list of items I had requested in an email, printed it, checked it, and then wrote some very beautiful, encouraging words. And my oldest sent me a letter separate because he didn't get it to Dad in time for the resupply. So he sent me a letter separate just saying hello with news of how things are going back home and life, the stuff I'm missing. And what's so crazy is it arrived in the mail the day I got there. So it got there just in time. Anyway, really great. Oh, and I'm getting eaten alive. But I had to tell you that because I was just like so overwhelmed. And, I had to show everybody in the hostel. I'm like, so this is my granddaughter. She did this. And this is my cutie pie little grandson. And my son wrote me a letter. And this is for my husband. And so bragging to everybody. See, I'm loved. I'm loved. Anyway, it's really great. So thank you guys. I love you. Mwah. I love you so much. All right. Bye. Well, the phone is out again. But look at that sun. Woohoo! Who said rain? My gosh, they're so wrong, and I'm so glad. Hope it just doesn't pour on me tonight. But anyway, I digress. This very wonderful, friendly couple was walking by, and I just said, hey, you have any idea if I'm in Maryland? Do you happen to know if I'm in Maryland? And they're like, yeah, you are, as soon as you crossed over the river. And I went, there was no sign. And they go, yeah, we noticed that too. And I'm thinking, do hikers like signs that say they're in a new state, right? We like that stuff. But anyway, so I'm in Maryland. Yeah, I knew West Virginia was very brief. And so it was. So I'm in Maryland. And they said that I am going to love Maryland. Well, I said, you know what? I have loved it all. So I'm excited. I'm excited to be in a new state. And I am on, so a guy on a bicycle came by, said hi, and went slow enough to ride next to me for a few minutes. And he said that this, what I'm calling a rail trail, or is not a rail trail because there's the railroad. This is called the C&O Trail. There's a canal and something. And it was actually a vision of George Washington to connect or to create a long distance transportation way. Let's call it that. A long distance transportation way. And by the time they even got close to finishing it, which I guess they did not, the railroad went in and it became a non-thing. Nope, don't need it anymore. So history is so cool. So I guess I should look that up. the C&O Trail in Maryland. Learn a little bit about that. Anyway, I think it's quite long. I guess it goes all the way Washington, D.C. to Pittsburgh or something. And obviously here, I don't know. The gentleman on the bicycle said it goes on forever. It's like you could really make a good day cycling out here. But anyway, I'm enjoying hiking it. All right. Train's coming through again. I can hear it. I didn't tape it, but a cargo train just came through. So we had the Amtrak passenger train, and we got a cargo train. Why not? Let's see what this one is. Let's see who's coming on by today. Oh, right now. Cargo. More cargo. It's so funny, all the graffiti that people paint on the side of train cars. A long history of that, right? Anyway, such talent, to be honest. Really. Okay. There it is.
So, I saw this on the map, and it intrigued me. I have no idea who Gath is, and nor did I think I had any time for field trips, because I'm trying to get to the shelter before 7. Right now, my pace suggests 7, but I am desperately trying to get there before that. So, this is not helping, but this was interesting. Okay, Gath's empty tomb. During the 19th century, few people bought burial lots in public cemeteries as we do today. Instead, a small parcel of their own land was usually set aside as a private cemetery. If enough money was available, a mausoleum or tomb was often built for certain family members. Gath, concerned with his own burial, built this lonely tomb about 20 years before his death, which came on April 15, 1914 in New York City. By this time, his great wealth had dwindled, and the near-penniless Gath was buried in a Philadelphia, Pennsylvania cemetery instead of his own tomb as he desired. Gath's empty tomb mutely symbolizes the uncertainties of life, fame, and fortune, and the certainties of death. Well, gee, that's rather morbid. Okay, so let's see if I can back up without falling down. This is the tomb. It says, and that centerpiece there over the door says, "Good night, Gath." Interesting, yeah? So here, I'm gonna walk around it. I gotta pick up my pole, sorry. But I wanna show you what else. So like, let's see if we can see inside it. I have no idea. I imagine people have tried to vandalize it, get inside it. Huh. Wow. Wow, it's deep, huh? Wow. So he would have gone beyond that gate, and then what? You could go in the beginning part and like, pay homage? Who knows? Wow. Okay, so this is cool. All right, so let's go over here. Oh yeah, see, it's not in great repair, huh? It's distressed. But then what caught my eye initially was this arch made of stone, which is very cool. And actually, the arch will take me back to the trail, so we're gonna go that way. And then I will hustle to the next. Very cool. Gath, I'm going to go through your archway. I'm sorry you never got to be buried in your tomb. Poor Gath. It is true, though. One day, things are going well, and the next, that's life. All right. So, no need to follow me uphill back to the trail, but that's where we're headed. Until later. So, the glare makes it difficult to see Mr. Gath's image, but it says here that a prolific writer, Gath wrote numerous poems and plays, 2 texts on political economy, and 5 historical novels during his career. The Entailed Hat was perhaps his most popular book. Interesting. Poor Mr. Gath. perhaps just an outbuilding? I don't know, but it's gorgeous. I'd live in it. I actually want to live in Gath's house. I think it's stunning. All right, well, I really need to figure out, wow, was all of this his property? This is just truly wild. Another archway? Not sure what it is. Correspondence. That's what's on the word on top of the archway. I'm sure there's more I could go read, but I gotta get moving. All right, off we go. Wow, very, very, very cool. All right, now where, oh where, is my AT? All right, here we go. Okay, well, there it is. Welcome, Gathland State Park. And this archway, which I have no idea what it is, but I bet I could go read about it, says war correspondence. Interesting. Gath, I'm gonna have to come back another time. Until then. So not quite sure what this is. Definitely in distress. But says AD 1887. Huh. Something from the Civil War for sure. Just what exactly? I'm sure it was on one of those signs I could have read, but history is so cool. All right, but I must move on. Oh, look. Oh, gosh, did you see it? Okay, sorry. Oh, darn, I was gonna blow it up. It was a little groundhog. So cute. Bye, baby. All right. Now let's see if we can ever get to the shelter. All right, let's go. So this is my only view all day. I've been in the woods the whole time, in the trees. Except, of course, when I was through all the historical stuff. That's okay. Historical stuff was awesome. It's very cool. I'm 2 miles from the shelter. Let's get it done.